Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. We're live here on 103.9 WYAB, the powerful 103.9 FM from Flora, past Pillahatchee. I don't even know how far north and south we go, but we cover the whole Tri-County area. Loud and clear. Welcome to the party, East Rankin. Glad to have you guys on the in the airwaves now. I'm in the ClayEdwardsShow.com studios. Be sure to check out my website there for all things Clay Edwards. If nothing else, if you're computer illiterate, technology illiterate, can't find the podcast any other way, you go to ClayEdwardsShow.com. At all times, right there on the front page, the podcast, the most recent 5 episodes are posted right there. If you can't find it no other way, it stays up to date. It updates automatically when I load the podcast. I don't have to do it, so that's how you know it gets done. So just check out ClayEdwardsShow.com. No "the" in front of it or any of that, just ClayEdwardsShow.com. Hey, this segment, real quick, brought to you by our good friends over at Guns and Gear. Man, their special of the day yesterday is one that I may damn well add to my collection. It is a Century VSKA Draco. I could fit right in Jackson with my Draco. They love them Dracos in Jackson, and rappers love them. They got this one on sale right now for just $8.99. I'm not I don't fancy myself as a quote unquote gun guy, but I'm a guy that has several guns. But I don't know about all the minutia and the ins and outs and all that stuff. But that's a really cool looking gun with a big magazine and it feels like a fair price. So you may want to check that out. We get into a little urban warfare. The Draco seems like one you would really like to have in your collection. And we ain't far from it. So get out there to Guns and Gear, home of no limit ammo. But hey, man, they're way more than just a gun and accessory store. They also have extensive gunsmithing and Cerakoting stuff available, services available. You can shop them online, gunsandgearms.com. We appreciate them sponsoring our text line here. I say Guns and Gear more than I say anything else. We have branded that text line. If they ever quit sponsoring, I feel bad for the next sponsor because I don't know that I'm going to have to retrain myself to call it something else. But I don't think they're going anywhere. They're happy. So let them know you heard it on the Clay Edwards Show when you get out there to support them. They're in Gluckstadt on Highway 51 North, right there at Yandell Road. Right, and they're in that shopping center that just got the new Booze Smokehouse in it. Barbecue and bullets go very well together. Get out there and support them. That's Guns and Gear. All right, hey, look, speaking of guns, probably should have done a different ad read for this segment. Northwest Rankin, yesterday, day 4, whenever it happened, news broke on it yesterday. People were sending me videos and pictures and stuff, and I was driving and couldn't really post it, couldn't figure it all out. Picture of a kid with a gun, pointing it at a car or something. People going crazy. Oh my God, they got an AR-15 at Northwest Rankin School. Prayers for Northwest Rankin. Prayers for Northwest Rankin. Man, a damn airsoft gun. An airsoft gun. Here it is. Here's my news story. Because I'm just going to tell y'all. I'm going to read this, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it. I'm probably going to upset some people. This is on WLBT. 3 people have been arrested after multiple Rankin County schools went on lockdown Wednesday morning. So it would have been yesterday. Northwest Rankin High School, Northwest Rankin Middle School, and Northwest Rankin Elementary were placed on lockdowns as a precaution while administrators and law enforcement were investigating a photo posted on social media, the district said, which, by the way, I have no problem with that. Err on the side of caution. Err on the side of caution. Said the photo showed a student holding an airsoft gun. After a thorough investigation, it was determined that the photo was taken after school yesterday, and there is no current threat to any of the involved campuses, says Sharon Patrick, Public Relations Manager with Rankin County School District. According to authorities, 2 juveniles and an 18-year-old, I ain't going to read his name, have been charged with possession of a weapon by a student. 2 juveniles were arrested and charged by Flowood Police Department. The other one was arrested and charged by the Sheriff's Department. And so Flowood Police yesterday posted the same thing basically, and I just simply asked the question, not trying to be a smart butt or anything. What is the charge for a student having a gun, a toy gun, on campus? I've got you go to Flowood Police Department's Facebook page. I think I'm the first comment. At least it shows up in my page as the first comment. And apparently the toy gun is the same as a real gun. Somebody posted a copy of the law here. They just read the law. It's easy to follow. They will be expelled from Rankin County School District and will have to go before a youth court judge if minors. And I guess the other one's being charged with a weapon on campus. Guys, that feels extreme. That feels extreme to suspend kids from school for a toy gun. And we're going to ruin these kids' lives over a toy gun that they didn't take into the school. And I do not have a problem with the precautionary stuff, locking it down. I mean, absolutely 100%, all hands on deck. But man, expelled from Rankin County School District and having to go to court and one of them being charged as an adult. Man, that seems like a lot. That seems excessive. Hopefully the court system will see that the same way and not ruin this kid's life for having an airsoft gun at school. And that's just Clay's opinion. And I know that's going to be controversial. I ain't trying to be, but I'm just looking big picture here. Let's take a call. Hey, you're on there.
Clay, are that going to stop them from practicing with the ROTC? Don't they use those toy guns to practice?
I guess so. I would think.
I don't know if they still do it. I mean, used to they'd have, where they do the little drills and stuff with them.
Yeah.
So that would be the same thing. The kids couldn't have those now.
Yep. What you got going on this morning, brother?
Oh, man, downtown over here by the Knockout Boys, the Fallout Boys, working across the street from them.
Are you?
Yeah, it's down here to that old motel where all the stuff back in the 60s happened. They redo it, make it a parking lot.
Oh, the Sun and Sand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went by there. Is that what they're doing, just making the rest of it a parking lot?
They're making it a parking lot, and they're going to have some little retail stores in the building.
Yeah, that's
supposedly.
Cool. That's
cool. It's pretty. It's fun to go into old buildings like that and just imagine what was going on back in the day. You'd love to see them in the heyday. Live back then.
Yep. All right, brother.
Working on one over at the motels over there. I went over there yesterday, and we're going to stop at that little store up there. Like, man, I won't do this again.
No, man, I'm out. Clay's days of retail shopping in downtown Jackson are over.
All right, have a safe and blessing, Clay.
You too, Chris. Be good.
All right, bye.
All right, man. To the Guns and Gear text line here. Unknown texter says, damn, dude, you are way off on this. Way off. Dumb. I don't think so, man. I just don't think I am. I mean, but hey, to each their own. Let's see here. It says, your signal made it to the edge of Carthage. Keep it up. Lost Sheep says, I was in Crystal Springs and couldn't hear you. Well, apparently we don't go as far south as we do east and west. I got several things on the jab. Let's see here. Unknown texter says, I'm pretty sure that if a person points his finger like a gun, he can be in trouble as well. Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's a link to a CNN article here. I'm just saying, I think the punishment is excessive. That's just my opinion. I don't have a problem with locking things down and going into panic mode and all that. I 100% A-okay with that. I just think the punishment is excessive. I'm going to read a text here real quick, and I'm going to take this call. Kristen says on the Guns and Gear text line, I want to be anonymous about this. I guess I should have read that part first. She goes, my ex-stepson took a plastic gun to Hines County School in Byram, and they expelled him for a semester and sent him to alternative school, and we had to take him and pick him up. It was ridiculous because it was really a punishment for the parents. Yep. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Kristen called me a dummy. But, hey, I did not say her last name. So, again, it just feels excessive. And that's my opinion on it. You're welcome to call in and argue it. Let's take a call. Hey, you're on there. Hello?
Hey, Clay.
Hey.
I understand what you're saying about the gun thing, but I work for the school system, and we're terrified of a school shooting. And the kid knew that wasn't going to go over well. Why they chose to do that, I'm not sure. Yes, a kid can get in trouble for pointing their finger like a gun on the bus or in school. It's uncalled for. And with all the crazy media coverage, all the people going out and just shooting places up, it's scary. And I understand that people may think it's excessive, but we're terrified every single day, because if they're they've caught people or kids with guns at different schools and this and that, and if they're catching them, there's so many that aren't getting caught that have a gun in that backpack or in that back pocket or whatever. And I'm telling you, it's scary.
What school? What district are you with?
I'll just say Rankin County.
That's fine. I didn't want to know any more than that. I was just curious. Well, look, I mean, I'll say this. I think we all know Rankin County schools are not a soft target. They, the sheriff's department and the school resource officers do a very, very good job with Rankin County. And again, I just hate to see a kid's life get ruined over a dumb mistake that nobody got hurt in, and with a toy gun, mind you. But I understand the fears. I 100% do, and I know it's a touchy subject. I hate to see somebody's life get derailed over a stupid.
Well, I understand, but the kid knew that wasn't going to go over well. Why do it at all?
Sure.
Why do it at all? There's consequences for every action, whether you're a kid or you're an adult. And maybe one day he'll see, if he don't already, that was a stupid thing to do. You know? I mean, how are our kids going to learn if they just keep getting a pop on the hand? That's what's probably wrong with a lot of the stuff going on in the courts right now. The pop on the hand, they get out and they do it again. And next time it's worse. Next time it's a real gun.
Hey,
you know,
I absolutely hate to cut you off. I've got to take a break here. You're right.
Okay.
You're 100% right. Great call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Got to take a break. Be right back. This is the Clay Edwards Show. When necessary. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. Hey, look, man, I tell you, y'all listen long enough, you'll find something you disagree with me on. And this is clearly one of those things with the toy gun at the school. Look, I don't have a problem with being suspended, all that. I have a problem with a felony for a toy gun. At the end of the day, that's a bit excessive to me. Bit excessive. But I understand the other side of it. And I understand it's not a popular opinion. And I'm all for consequences and repercussions. I didn't say consequence free. Just slap him on the hand and let him go back to class. That ain't what I said. I just say a felony is a bit excessive for a toy gun. I know they got callers on hold. We're out of time for the first hour. We will be back here in about 7 minutes on 103.9 WYAB. This is the Clay Edwards Show, literally breaking rules when necessary. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back into your daily dose of reality radio. From politics to pop culture, we cover it all here on the Clay Edwards Show, the most incendiary talk show on the airwaves in all of Mississippi. Right here on 103.9 FM. Streaming worldwide at WYAB.com and on the TuneIn app, as well as Alexa. This is the Clay Edwards Show. All right. Got the formalities out the way. This segment is going to be brought to you by Lakeland Glass and Tint. Get over there and see my good friends at Lakeland Glass and Tint for all of your home, car, or business window tinting needs. Vehicle glass replacement needs, your windshields and whatnot. And, of course, they do vehicle wraps and all of that as well. They offer Expel window tint and vinyl for wraps, and they're now doing ceramic coating on top of those wraps. So check them out today, 601-946-1000, or schedule and price it and book it all online at lakelandglassandtint.com, where quality matters. Lakeland Glass and Tint. All right, before I go any further and we step back into the to the mud hole that I have created myself this morning, I want to let you guys know that tomorrow here on the Clay Edwards Show, it's going to be a very special show. I'm going to have Zeno Mangum in the studio with me, and Zeno's mother, Cindy Lassiter Mangum Williams, was one of James Williams III's murder victims. You heard me and Therese talking about this the other day. James Williams III is about to be paroled by MDOC and the Mississippi Parole Board after only less than 25 years of a double life sentence for killing Zeno's mom and stepfather. James killed his stepfather and Zeno's mom, and killed his father and stepmother. Anyhow, he was 17 when he did it. The Supreme Court has since passed a law saying you can't give minors life without possibility of parole. Okay, no big deal. I can live with that. But our parole board does not have to parole this guy. But we're going to talk about all that tomorrow morning here on the Clay Edwards Show. Rankin County folks, Brandon folks. My understanding is when John gets out, he's going to be living with his mother right over off Highway 18, 5 minutes from Shiloh Park, where the two bodies were found 20 plus years ago. Do you want to kill her 5 minutes from downtown Brandon, from Shiloh Park? We do not need this man released from prison. Call your state representatives. Call the parole board. Email them. All of this contact information for everybody is on my Facebook page. Go to Clay Edwards and scroll down a couple posts. You'll see where I shared Zeno's post with all the contact, emails, names, everything. I called Michael Guest. I called Fred Shanks yesterday. I said, hey, bro, need to call whoever you need to call. I'm doing my part here. Call them all. Let them know. You do not want a double murder, factual, not accused. He's a double murderer. Sentenced to 2 life sentences back in our communities. We're going to hear Zeno's whole story tomorrow. It should be riveting radio. All right. They get fired up. Get fired up, man. When something's right, something's right. When something's wrong, something's wrong. Let's go to the Guns and Gear text line where y'all have let me know that I am wrong on this gun thing. Again, man, I don't have a problem with consequences, repercussions, punishment. I'm just saying, and this is without knowing the history of the student either, and that's an important factor there, right? You know, I don't know the history of the student. I don't know any of that stuff. Clearly, they may know more than I do, obviously. I'm just saying a felony feels excessive for a toy. I mean, if you want to suspend him, expel him for the year, all that stuff, I get it. Man, does that felony have to follow this kid around forever over a toy gun? That's kind of what I'm saying. If it was your kid, I wonder how you would feel. And since everybody tells me, if my kid, Clay, if your kid went there, you'd feel differently. You know, my kid just got through high school a couple years ago. I get it. Again, we're talking about a toy, not a real gun. Let's see here. Reagan, I'll get back to that. I don't want to go backwards here just yet. Let's see here. Unknown texture. My riding club chapter brothers and myself went to Acme Pizza and Daiquiris last night, and we were blown away by the service and how good the food was. We tried our best to find something to complain about, but just couldn't. I mentioned that we heard about it on the Clay Edwards Show on WYAB. Just thought I'd let you know. Peace. Hey, brother, I appreciate that. Send me your names. I can lock you in the phone there. Stephen chimes in on the Guns and Gear text line, says, I remember taking plastic guns to school for Halloween, different times. Man, it's crazy. It was probably some young kid showing off his new toy. Bro, I went to Byram in the 90s. When I tell you we had our guns on our gun racks, well, I had a mini truck. I didn't have a gun rack. Guns were under the seat, behind the seat, whatever. But there were dudes that come straight from hunting to school, parked up there on the hill. They had their guns in on their gun rack. And I get it. Luke Woodham changed everything in Mississippi. And the school shootings and all that. But I don't want to lose sight that we're talking about a toy gun. I know airsoft, you can BB gun, whatever. I get it. But big picture here. Let's not get lost in semantics. Hey, little breaking news here. If you're traveling in from Brandon this morning, there's a wreck on 471 southbound about a half a mile north of Luckney Road. Heavy delays coming into Brandon. this morning on 471. Unknown texter. We'll have to agree to disagree. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Unknown texter says, I disagree. If someone's pointing a toy gun at school these days, he needs to be punished. He knew better and hasn't been under a rock. Kids are dying. That's not a joke, which is likely what he was going for. I said, yes, if it was a real gun. Toy gun, no. They said, we'll just have to agree to disagree on this one. Keep up the good work. What if it were, here's a thought. What if it were a real gun with no ammo? I would have a problem with that. And I get the complexities there. I do. All right, here's another text here. It says, I have 3 children in Rankin County School District. If these teachers are scared to death, they need to request more resource officers and not point the finger at kids with toy guns. Yeah, I mean, I try not to be judgy about that. I understand. Teachers have been put in a tough spot. They really have. I think teachers with concealed carry permits should be allowed to have their guns in the classroom. You know, we've had that conversation on this show before. Hell, I think I'm not against some version of students with concealed carry. You know, if they're 18, whatever, check off all the boxes, responsible. I don't necessarily have a problem with them having a gun. I don't like gun-free zones. I don't like dangling on people's Second Amendment rights. You know, are you a 2A absolutist? Or are you a 2A, well, as long as kids aren't around? You know what I mean? Are you a freedom of speech absolutist? Or are you, well, I mean, we all agree certain things you can't say. I mean, it's one or the other. Great text here. It says on the Guns and Go text line, but felons can have all the guns they want. Exactly. Zach says, I believe as the law goes, if you use a toy gun to rob a bank, you are still charged with armed robbery. The victims do not know it is a toy gun. Okay, that's a valid point. Valid point. But that's using it to break another law. And I guess taking a toy gun is against the law now, so I guess whatever. I feel like it's excessive. Let's take a call. Hey, you're on there.
Hello?
Hey, you're on there. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, this is Lacey. I was just calling to say, you know how you have the domino effect?
The what? Domino?
Yeah. It'll be other students bringing toy guns. If you can't just slap them on the hand, I don't know what they should do, but something has to be done, and it has to be scary. It has to be scary because kids, they take chances, and whatever it is that they do, suspension, I don't think that'll do it because they like being out of school. I really don't know, but I do know that when you have one shooting, then the next week or so you have another shooting, people do that. So I don't know what the punishment should be, but I do know they need to be kind of hard on it because others will follow.
Yeah, you make a great point there, Lacey.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate you.
Next day, baby.
Hey, you too, sweetie. All right. Hey, you know what? Lacey makes a great point. You know, there's a little bit of that monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. There is a domino effect. Let's take another call, and then I'll give my opinion on it. Hey, caller, you're on there.
Hey, Clay, it's Randy Teddy. What's up, man?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good. He can tie a couple things in together with the gun thing and why I think that the punishment may fit the crime. I lost.
Hold on. Go ahead, Teddy. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So, used to be a sale of a drug was considered to be a violent offense, and the reason was because of the propensity for violence to happen in the illegal drug business. Well, that's kind of the same thing. If that young man had gotten shot by a school resource officer when he was holding that toy gun, would that school resource officer have been in the right? I think so, just because of the school shootings we've had in the past. So, what I would hope is, they go forward with the felony and do it some kind of non-adjudication or something, and give him some probation for a couple of years and see how he acts during that time, and then maybe make the felony go away. But we can't just ignore it and act like it's okay. That's all I got to say.
No, I like that, and that's kind of what the angle I was working at when I said that maybe once you get into the court system, it's not something he has to be straddled with for the rest of his life.
Right.
If he acts right.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Thanks, Teddy. Let's take another call here. Hey, you're on there.
I don't want to give my name or anything, but my child was the owner of the gray truck that was in the video and the picture.
Yeah,
and I would really like to talk about this.
I think I may have sent your husband the video of that.
But he did. He did. You sent it to me because we had not yet seen the video last night. My child was not involved in the situation at all. He was not. He was pulled into it simply because they happened to be playing around his vehicle. But yet and still, my child is sitting in juvenile court today because he was arrested for something that happened to be in his truck that he forgot about. It was a toy Red Ryder BB gun that he had forgotten about being in his truck that he received for a Christmas gift when he was 6. My child has never been in trouble. He has always had good grades and has always been just a well-behaved child, not only at home, but at school as well. And because of this one event, these other kids playing and shooting a video around his vehicle, he got pulled into it and arrested yesterday.
That's terrible.
When I tell you it breaks my heart to see my son put in handcuffs because of something so silly, I can't explain how that feels as a parent. Now, people want to talk about how they would feel if it was their child. Well, let me tell you how I felt when it was my child. When I saw this picture, all I got was, oh, my God, have you seen this? And I was texted this picture. Well, for a moment, I thought my child was at the end of an AR assault rifle, fearing for his life. I couldn't get anybody on the phone to tell me anything. The police department, I couldn't get the school on the phone. My child wouldn't answer the phone, nothing. So I'm en route thinking my child is dead or in danger. I still think that this was kids being kids and that this poor boy does not need to have this destroyed the rest of his life. Even the Flowood Police Department told me that what they did was not wrong. It was where they chose to do it that made it a crime. These were kids being kids. They were silly, having fun. Time proves that they were just being playing and having a good time. No one got hurt. No one's property was damaged. They all went home, and it was the next day because of social media that anybody even knew about it.
That's crazy.
Yes, I agree that he should be expelled. Yes, I agree that the school system should be dealing with this, not the law.
We're on the same page. We're on the same page. Look, I hate that for your son. Hopefully that gets worked out. That's ridiculous. Like I said, and your phone call just makes me firmer in my belief about what I said. It's just excessive. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no punishment. I'm just saying it's just damn excessive. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just going to say I completely agree. A felony is excessive. I agree with punishment. I agree with expulsion, but this should be handled within the school system, not with the law.
Amen. Great call. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There you go. All these, everybody out there, there's the other side of the coin. Do you feel differently? Let's take a break real quick. Got a bunch of texts. Phone lines are wide open, 601-879-0002. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back on 103.9 WYAB. Wasn't necessary. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. This segment is going to be brought to you by Take a Break Deliveries. If you want to get some food delivered today or some beer or liquor delivered tonight, I recommend using Take a Break Deliveries. Locally owned, locally operated. Right out here in Central Mississippi. Brandon, Pearl, Jackson, Madison. They're all throughout the area. Go to takeabreakdeliveries.com or download the app from your app store of choice. And what's great about the app is they're going to send out daily promo codes for discounts on your delivery fee. Some days it's $3, some days it's $5. But if you use Clay601 every day, it's going to be $5 off your delivery fee. And what's really cool is they offer delivery for a lot of locally owned restaurants that aren't on the big delivery apps. So you can support not one, but 2 locally owned businesses in one fell swoop. And what's really cool is Take a Break Deliveries is veteran owned, veteran operated by Mr. Keith Hokut. So give him a call today, or drop him a line on the interwebs. Get your food ordered. I'm always ordering some pizza from Take a Break Deliveries. Sometimes, you may run out of beer on a Sunday, barbecuing. You've had too many to drive, but you want some more beer, or Saturday, or whatever day. Take a Break Deliveries. We'll deliver it to you. Save you, they're saving lives, keeping people off the road that have had too much to drink. That's a good deal right there, either way you slice it. All right, let's jump back into these texts. Y'all are piling on me today. Tony, twice as many. That takes me back. Let's see here. Where was the Thomas is calling me a racist. Says I wouldn't be talking like this about these kids if they were black. And that's just wrong. It just is. All right, here was a good text here. It says, you can't complain about people getting off easy in Hinds County, then complain about the hammer getting dropped in Rankin. And I just simply said, yes, I can. I think the punishment is out of line for something that, as the mother of one of the kids just said, the punishment, it would not have even been a crime if it hadn't happened at the school. So I feel like a felony is excessive. I think all the suspensions and stuff, I've sat here and been able to digest all of it. I think the suspensions are fine. People understand that. I mean, hell, her kid wasn't even involved. Had a BB gun in his truck. And it ain't even the kid with the airsoft gun. Had a little Red Ryder, you put your eye out, BB gun under the seat of his truck. And I guess it got searched just because it was in the picture. Good Lord. But hey, whatever, I just think felonies are excessive. I mean, don't paint me as some nut job that thinks kids should be shooting guns at schools. Feels excessive. But hey, Teddy made a great call. So look, let it work. Let the system work. Maybe it gets adjudicated, or however you pronounce all that, and has an opportunity to get the felony off his record. But I still find it a bit excessive. That's just my opinion. We're all allowed to have it. RANKIN. I don't think kids should be punished at school for making handguns with their fingers. We all did that. We cannot steal our children's living because some fool somewhere else stole kids' lives. We now overreact to everything. The cost for that is way too high. Let kids be kids. Let adults watch out for psychos. I agree 100%. I mean, really, pointing your fingers and making your fingers a gun, that ain't a gun. If I put my hands out, my arms out, and pretend I'm an airplane, does that mean I can fly to a building and knock it down? Come on, man. Use some dang common sense. We are raising, like Kid Rock said, we are raising a nation of sissies, but he chose another word. Raising a nation of sissies. Let's take another call here real quick. I actually do have some more stuff I want to get to. I don't want this to consume the whole show. I don't want to take Thomas's call. He's on arrest. Says too many bad words. Here's another suggestion. 10-day suspension. School driving privileges revoked for a year. Pay a $500 fine to the school. Yeah, I mean, again, I think there's other ways to go about it. And we'll see. All right, we got somebody else calling other than Thomas. Let's try this. Hey, you're on there. Hey, good morning. Hey.
Part of the problem is, like you said, the parents are. I mean, we're not disciplining kids at home. I mean, when I was a kid in school, if I messed up at school, the principal would call my dad, and it was going to be taken care of. But now there's too much of this not my baby stuff. My baby didn't do nothing wrong. Everywhere you look, parents they're blinded by their kids, and the kids have them snowed. They can do nothing's their fault. Everything is somebody else's fault, and you can't count on parents to do the right thing to their kids. You just can't count on them.
I mean, in what context? What are we talking about?
Like if you get in trouble at school, like I got caught skipping school one time, and the principal called my old man, and he said, "Look, I got caught skipping school. Do you want us to discipline him, or do you want to handle it at the house?" And he said, "No, just send him home." You know, and needless to say, I wish the principal would have handled it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And the thing is that this kid at school with a gun, he knew exactly the connotation that was going to be brought forth when he had a fake weapon at the school. He knew what was going to happen. He knew how people were going to take that. He knew how certain segments of the population were going to take that. He knew there's a section of the population that overreacts to everything. And I guarantee you that probably he just is. And when the school would, if he would have got caught at the school, the principal would have called them, and it'd have been, "Oh, not my kid." You know, my kid didn't do that. You know.
Yeah.
And you got so much of that going on in Jackson and everywhere else, not just Jackson, but Rankin County too. I mean, you got it everywhere. Parents are relying on the state to handle punishing the kids. You know what I mean?
Yep. Good call, brother.
All right, man. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Yeah, look, man. A felony is excessive. That's all I'm saying. The kid could have known what he was doing, but I don't think as a 17, 18-year-old at some point in time, you're just not thinking it all the way through. You know, and to the point about, there's a segment of the population that are constantly offended by everything, or overreact, should I say? That's the segment of the population that I like to needle the most. I don't know, man. That's Clay's opinion. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to shift gears from schools and guns to some other stuff I want to talk about today. Speaking of guns, well, this is actually a pretty gun-heavy show, consequence, repercussion show. We're going to talk about the lawyer that got arrested for shooting some bad guys. Some more stuff has come out about that. This is the Clay Edwards Show. We'll be right back on 103.9 WYAB.
Thanks for listening. Tune in tomorrow at 7 a.m. as the Clay Edwards Show discusses all that is going on in and around the city of Jackson.
This concludes our broadcast day.
Right here on 103.9 WYAB.